everybody to a very special YouTube exclusive episode of Rime and the Frost Maiden for episode 14. I am Samson Paul. I have the party with me. How's everybody doing tonight?
Doing good.
Yeah, not bad.
Woo!
Very cold.
Very cold day here in Missouri.
It's cold.
A lot of ice on the ground for the past 3 days. 20 degrees is the high. That is not something I've appreciated. Hopefully everyone watching this is having a warmer climate. So, anything anybody wants to plug or talk about before we get started?
Not me.
Right.
Nope.
All right. So I will say, since this is a YouTube exclusive show, if you have not watched us before, sit back, relax, keep the tab open, listen in, and follow along as best you can. And if you enjoy, please hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and come back. We upload episodes every Thursday here to my YouTube channel. And we also stream live on Twitch TV/Samson Paul every Wednesday, going live at 7 p.m. Central Time. So with that out of the way, we'll go ahead and get into the recap. We pick up from last week where the party was ascending up a mountain in Kelvin's Cairn, and they had discovered a body lying face down in the snow, pointed out by Spot, the faithful dog that had been leading them up the mountain trail. Spot had located Garrett, the missing individual that the party was set out to look for, and after healing him and fending him off from an ambush attack from some crag cats, the party was able to restore him back to consciousness and recuperate a little bit before Garrett expressed the concern for the party that he was escorting up this mountain. And he was determined to do so himself, but a couple of the party members intervened and said, hey, the party will take this onto their shoulders. They will ascend the rest of this mountain to go search for the party that has gone missing. And Garrett was escorted back to town by Leoponte and Sora. Meanwhile, the rest of the party continued to climb up the mountaintop, traversing which the mountain had already set off a large blizzard the week before. Coming across a very, very narrow gap, a long 500-yard ledge, essentially a small walking path that had them up against a rock face next to about 150 to 200 foot drop off of the edge is the only way to traverse this mountain. But slowly but surely the party made their very slow crawl safely across this mountain ledge and land bridge that followed, tracking down what seems to be a blood trail that led them towards a cave, which housed a Yeti and a Yeti tyke, a mother and a little baby Yeti. Inside they found a halfling that was being toyed around with by the tyke as some sort of personal plaything, and they found the remains of what seems to be a Goliath male. And quickly going into the cave very discreetly, they were able to get the jump onto the tyke and scare him back to the mother, who let out a very ravenous roar to try to scare off the party, but insisted to protect the den of the Yeti, and party combat ensued. The party was able to dispatch the Yeti, and Carcass had the bright idea to take the javelin and impale the Yeti tyke, who was pestering the party with rocks being thrown from the top shelf inside of this room. And after dispatching of the mother and the tyke all at once, the party considered what to do next. And without very little time to consider what to do, the father of the tyke returned home, and enraged to see his family had been eviscerated, began to strike at the party as well and make a beeline towards Carcass, who had impaled his kid. And with that, the male Yeti was able to be downed, and the party is now recuperating from their battle inside of this large cave. And with them is going to be the halfling that they had discovered that was being toyed with. That halfling's name is Paraloop. And what were you guys wanting to do? Or I assume take a long rest, short rest here in this cavern?
Yeah, I think that would be wise.
Okay.
How many people have points of exhaustion?
Looks like a number of your party members are pretty exhausted at this point. More than half, you'd say.
Yeah. I'd say we go ahead and make camp in here. We have shelter, take a long rest, and head out in the morning. Let's say that probably we vanquished the most dangerous game in this cave.
Yeah, and you take a look around and you see that this cave, it's got a circular structure with that giant crater essentially in the middle of the main room, but it wraps around, and that ice bridge that kind of leads towards the back way is just another alternate route to the entrance, and you know that there's nothing else in here.
All right.
You see that Perilu has wandered her way over towards the remains of her Goliath companion, and is kind of just looking down and shaking her head and seems to be mumbling to herself.
I think it best to leave her to her grief for now. That's what I'm gonna do.
Okay. What are the rest of you gonna do?
I would like to chop off the horn of one of the Yetis.
Okay. The male has predominantly larger horns. You'd be able to fit them in your bag just fine if you would like to take those.
Is anything that would fit in my bag?
All right. Go ahead and make a survival check to try to extract that horn.
Oh, that is a 5.
Instead of carving it off with your edge of the great axe, you think maybe it's just best to try to rip it off, and you end up breaking it in half. And you have half of a horn.
That's okay. I will put half of the horn in my bag.
Okay. What about Zizix or Eclipse?
Zizix is gonna kind of inspect the area just to see if there's any potential other, entrances, exits, things that may go bump in the night, kind of thing.
Sure. So I'll have you make an investigation check.
May I join him in that endeavor?
Sure.
That was a 22.
Very nice. What did you get, Lysander?
Sorry, I thought we were just going off his.
Oh,
I got a 7.
okay. So you don't spot anything in particular, but you don't see any secret entrances or anything like that. But Zizix, you are pretty intricate with your search, and you find a heap trash pile essentially, and you kind of start to move that around and see if there's anything behind that, and you reveal that this trash pile that you found is actually the remnants of a destroyed dog sled. And you find little tiny bones around there, but you also uncover a number of items that you come across. These items, you can tell, are a mess kit, an explorer's pack, and a lot of heavy clothing that is just drenched in blood.
Zizix is going to say, hey, guys! There's some stuff over here.
I'll walk over there if I'm not already there with him.
Yeah, you're good.
Eclipse will come over as well.
Okay.
I'm busy playing with the new horn before I put it in my bag.
Hey, what did you find there, buddy?
Well, I think this might be a dog sled. It's maybe one of the things that we were looking for. But there's a mess kit and a explorer's bag. Maybe it belonged to somebody that we could return it.
If that's the case, they're probably not in good condition to receive it.
And Perilu is going to look over in your direction and say, the mess kit is mine, and the explorer pack was my friend's.
Oh, would you give them both back?
I don't have any use for the explorer's kit. I already have one. But I'll take the mess kit. You guys can help yourselves to the explorer's pack. You may need it more than I.
Close is going to turn to Zizix and say, I'll split it with you if you want.
Oh no, you can take it.
That's very kind of you.
And I'll just tap my sack and say, I already have a bag.
Yes, you do.
All right. And Perilu walks over to Vega and Andy, and they start to have a little side conversation on their own, but you can overhear that Perilu is asking if they would be able to take her back to town once the sun rose, and hopefully see if they can convince their friends, you guys, if you would continue your search for Asterix, who she saw last at towards the top of the mountain. And Andy and Vega come over and they divulge this information to you. Are you guys willing to continue looking for Asterix, or are you going to cut your losses and call this the best you can do?
I'm willing to give it one more day, but it has been a long and difficult journey to get up here, just here.
And
I mean,
go ahead.
I mean, if we've come this far, I don't see why we could go a bit further.
I would like to ask Perilou how the dog sled got up here, if there is another way down than where we came from.
And Perilou, she looks at the dog sled and she says, I actually don't know. That was here when we got here.
Oh, I see. Then that means still there has to be another way down.
Yeah, I'm sure there's other pathways if you come up a different side of the mountain than we initially came across. Garrett, he likes this this trail because it's a little challenging, and that's really what we wanted, was a challenging climb.
So there are easier ways to get up here, sounds to me.
Yeah,
But-
yeah, there definitely are.
Did Garrett happen to divulge to you where those trails might be?
Well, he didn't tell us, but once we got to the top, we could kind of get a lay of the mountain, and we definitely saw some easier pathways to get up to the top. Close to the top, anyway.
Then I would turn to Eclipse and Zizix and Carcass and say, what do you all think?
I mean, based on our last climbing expedition, I would much rather try to find an easier way up the mountain.
In fact, what I might propose is that we find a path for you and Vega and Andy to go down in a very safe route, as opposed to the way we came, which was admittedly treacherous. We find that path, get you on your way, and we continue to find Asterix.
Yeah, I agree with that. I don't want to go across that stupid land bridge. That thing was, that was scary.
Indeed. Then
I know we saw a pathway towards the east that kind of zigzagged down towards the base. It probably takes maybe a couple hours hike to get down from that avenue. I know the way.
oh, good. Then I say that everybody gets a good night's rest, a good meal, and we head out in the morning.
And she says that sounds good to me. I can only hope I can get some rest after all the torment I've been through. 3 days. 3 days of being this little tyke's plaything.
We won't let anything bother you tonight.
Morgan
Hope you
Freeman
can find-
voice, and he was not right in that regard.
Oh, fun. That's good foreshadowing.
We'll see.
Well, I am very sorry to hear about your friend.
Thank you. He was a stalwart companion. He was one of the toughest I'd ever met.
Yeah, he seemed, from what I could see of him, a very strong man.
And she kind of looks at you quizzically and says, yes, that he was. He
Right.
did his best to
I'm
put
gonna
up a
walk
fight.
away.
Ooh.
I'm glad you didn't say he could hold himself together, because he obviously didn't.
I didn't know what to say.
Yeah, understood.
Yeah, yeah. Saw his head over there. No, no,
Uh,
that's the. I'm gonna put my foot in my mouth and hop away.
all right. So if nothing else, are you guys ready to set up watches?
Yep.
All right. So we'll have Andy and Vega take first watch. Their watch goes by quite calmly as the wind seems to die down, and they kind of peer outside and they see that the snow is starting to fall from the sky again. Very calm, uh, not very heavy at all, but it is starting to snow again. Next watch, who would like to go?
I'll go.
Okay. Just you, or are you waking anyone else up?
I'll shake or tap however you get Lysander to respond from his, I don't know, sleep mode.
Yeah, his sentinel mode, it's kind of like a standby mode. He's aware of what's going on around him, so just the slightest touch, he'll awaken and start actively patrolling.
Yeah, and as I stand up, I'll say, I can still hear and see you. All you need to do is wave.
Lovely.
That's not creepy.
I mean, I kind of asked for this life, but I didn't at the same time.
But didn't you?
Only kind of.
That kind of means yes.
I
All right. Go ahead and make your perception checks as you guys are keeping watch.
Nice.
20 not natural.
Very nice.
and that's a 17 for me.
Okay. So you guys do hear some movement coming from outside with the stillness of the snow and the wind having died off. It's allowed you to pick up on some movement coming from outside of the cave. Would you like to go out and look?
I'm gonna turn to Eclipse and say, you have dark vision, don't you?
I guess I could peer out and see if I can make anything of it.
Then I'll go with you. I'll be right behind you.
All right.
All right.
With that, we'll go ahead and use your existing perception checks to go for that. In Eclipse, you see directly to the left of the cave, you see a pair of mountain goats that seem to be scaling the side of the cliff face, or not cliff face, but rock face that this cave is embedded into. You guys haven't startled them or anything. They don't seem to be aware of your presence.
Okay, and I saw them too. Both Eclipse and I did.
Do you have dark vision?
No, I do not.
No, you wouldn't have seen them.
Okay, then I'm gonna ask, what do you see?
What I see with my cat eyes, just some mountain goats. They're just being goats, doing goat things.
Do you still see them?
Yes.
Wait here. And I'm gonna go back and shake Vega awake.
Okay. And I need you guys to make a stealth check for your conversation. Very nice. 23 for Eclipse. And 9 for Lysander. Lysander speaks a little bit loud. And it kind of startles the goats. And you can hear them now as they start to bleat and start moving along the rock face a little bit quicker. You hear them scuffling, almost losing their footing. But the sound grows quieter in Eclipse. You kind of see them trying to move away from the sounds that caught them off guard.
Whatever you're doing, do it fast. They're leaving.
Yeah, very good.
Yeah, I'm going to go and wake up Vega and say, hey, we might have some help outside that your druid senses may be of use to.
All right. What would you like me to do?
There's some mountain goats outside. Maybe you can go talk to them, see if they've seen a tiefling, or maybe we can keep an eye out for one come tomorrow.
All right.
Maybe we can reconvene.
Take a look here. I'll look at his spell sheet since he is not playing at the moment. He actually is out of spell slots, so he couldn't use the speak with animals.
Oh, right. Yeah. Sorry, I didn't mean to talk over you.
That's all right.
Yeah, I remember him mentioning that last week. Damn.
But he says, yeah, sorry, I don't have the power to do it at the moment.
That's okay. Go back to sleep. And I'll go and get Eclipse.
As far as that goes, that is the end of your watch. Unless there's anything else you would like to do, or if you'd like to pursue the goats yourselves.
No, not particularly.
I'm good on goats, thanks.
Okay. And that brings us to the next watch. Zizix and Carcass.
So Zilix would like to eat and drink some food and water while he rests so he can get rid of the exhaustion. And afterwards would like to make another potion.
All right, go right ahead.
Oh yeah. Rolled a 4.
Right. Let's see what craziness you unveil.
Alright, give me a sec here. Oh no shit.
Oh no.
Do you guys see that roll?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Sam, how would you like for me to work that? Because
Let me pull up the wild magic table here.
yeah, so 100 is regain all expended sorcery points.
That's a 1.
Oh, that's a 1, not a 100?
That is a 1. A 100 would be double 0 and a 0.
Okay. So does that mean that I can keep rolling on the potion for the next minute to see if it just changes to something really strange?
Let's see. I'm still pulling up the wild magic table. Let's see. Roll on this table at the start of each of your turns for the next minute, ignoring the results of subsequent rolls. Okay. So,
Or would it just be easier for me to reroll?
you find inspiration, and you create 6 different potions.
Oh shit, yeah.
So, let's go ahead and do that.
Okay, like just roll another D100 6 times?
Yep.
Or, yep, cool.
Yep.
I like this. Okay. That's an interesting one. Let me write these down.
And then we'll make your intelligence check to see if you know what they are. So go ahead and just roll the rest of them. Since we have the dice log, we'll be able to refer back to it. I have it open for reference.
Alrighty.
Okay. Go ahead and make an intelligence check. Okay. With that, 4 of the potions that you made, you're not sure what they are. But you know that you've created a potion of polymorph, the 78, and the 35. The rest of them, you're not sure exactly what they do.
Alrighty.
So there you go. Very productive from Zizix. Carcass, what are you doing while Zizix is playing with his potions and baubles?
Well, I'm also very hungry, so I would like to, if we don't have the fire going still from the previous, I would like to start a fire, and then I would like to cut the leg off of the little one and cook it.
Yeah. Easy enough, I'd say. You'll be able to rip off the leg, just whole, and hold it over the fire and start roasting it. Takes about maybe 30 minutes or so to get everything set up and have it cooked.
Okay, I will take the first 30 minutes, maybe 45, and cook the leg of the little tiny one and eat it.
So Zizix is, you are creating your baubles and your potions, you get this, like, the cave just fills with the smell of burning hair.
I'll just start sniffing the air to try and figure out if I can see where it's coming from.
Yeah, and it's not hard to see. You see Carcass kind of holding that leg of could be a goat, I guess. You're not sure at the moment, but you definitely smell the hair burning in the fire.
Carcass, what do you got there?
I pulled the leg off of the little one and I am cooking it.
The little one?
Yes, the little tiny yeti.
Oh, okay.
Yes, I'm very hungry.
I mean, I am too.
Oh, you can have some if you want it. I will share with you.
Oh, well, thank you. And I'll kind of just sit by him while he's cooking it.
Yeah.
Once I think it is cooked enough, I will just rip a big handful off and hand it to him.
All right.
Thank you. I was just start numbing down on it.
There you go. Beast. And
Yes, the young one, because it is tender.
Upon the fire being built, Eclipse is gonna scooch her box close to the fire and hop in, enjoying the warmth.
yeah, absolutely. Technically, there was a fire going through the whole time, so I would say you would be set up pretty close to there anyway. I kind of incorporated that into, setting up camp. You guys need
Cool,
fire
cool.
to be able to keep warm through the night.
That's good, because if I have to build the fire, we might be here for a couple of days.
All right. Anything else you guys would like to do on your watch?
Once I am done eating, I will just sit right next to Eclipse's box, and I will watch her sleep.
All right. Easy enough. And at the end of your watch, the glimmer of sunlight starts to protrude into the cave, reflecting off of the high walls in the back parts of the cave. And Zizix and Carcass are able to take note that the sun has in fact risen.
I will gently shake Eclipse to wake her up.
Oh, good morning, Carcass.
Oh, hello, Kitty.
Hi.
It is time to wake up.
Oh, thank you. I will do the waking up now.
Okay, thank you for the waking up. And then I will go over and just kind of, nudge the other ones all with my feet.
Lysander and Andy are both kind of nudged awake with the hooves of Carcass. And Andy stirs awake and says, could have just said something.
I did.
Yeah.
I said wake up with my foot.
Yeah, if I saw him approaching me, I would just get up.
Yeah, for sure.
I will still nudge him anyway.
Yep, I'm up. Thank you.
And
You are all very welcome.
Paralu looks to Vega and Andy and she says, well, I guess it's time we should be heading back. And she looks to the rest of the party and she says, thank you for looking for Asterix. She's a little off, but she's a good person, and I hope you find her.
We'll do our best. Can you point us in the direction that you last saw her?
And she says, yeah, just follow the slopes to the right and head up the mountain. And, well, that's kind of the last area where I saw her before this tyke started dragging me by my neck.
Let's see. Well, how about we follow you and Andy and Vega to the trail that you're going to take down the mountain before we all separate.
Sure, I can do that.
Thank you.
All right, and so you guys start heading out into the mountainscape. It's a very cold day. The wind is still pretty still, but the snow is falling pretty steadily. You guys hang a right from the cave and you head up a little bit, and she points over in the direction of east, and you guys start to make your way over that direction. And over this little lump, you're able to see that there is a somewhat kind of path that seems to zigzag between rock faces and boulders, like a pretty well blazed trail. And you see in the distance, actually the Duragar fortress that you guys had once come by, and you kind of see it embedded into the side of the mountain where it kind of had that storage facility out in front where you guys snuck into, and you recognize that immediately upon seeing it. And this path kind of goes past it and off to the side of the mountain face to the left of that building.
So this is the same mountain that fortress was on?
Yes.
Then we should know our way from there, right?
Mm-hmm.
Given our history. Okay.
You sure would?
Then yeah, I will turn to Perilou and say, yeah, we are familiar with this place.
Okay.
I think we can take it from here, and Vega and Andy know the way down as well.
Okay, very good. Good luck, and I'll wait in town if you have any good news.
Yes, we sent Garrett to Frozen Far an expedition to see Atlas Swift. You might go there first to see where he went if you would like to meet him.
Ah, yeah, that's probably a good idea. Thank you very much for saving me, everyone.
You're very welcome. I tip my hat there.
I don't want to imagine what else that tyke had in store for me. It seemed like he was getting bored and my time was about up.
Well, you don't have to worry about him any longer. Fare thee well.
And with that, Perilou and Andy and Vega head down the path and start making their way back to town. In the meantime, Carcass, Clips, Lysander, and Zizix remain on the mountaintop, and you guys look up and you see the precipice of the mountain. It's within view. It's probably about 2 hours of a hike uphill. If I could have you guys make perception checks at this time.
That is a 2 for Carcass.
11.
And an 18 for me.
Okay. And 4 for Zizix. Alright. So, Eclipse, you're able to hone in on this small, very small patch of green amidst this sea of white. And as you guys start your journey up the mountain and it draws closer, you see that this patch of green actually has a little bit of movement to it. And with that perception check, you're able to surmise that this patch of green seems to be waving a little bit with the wind that seems to be picking up as you draw higher into the mountain. And it seems to be flapping.
I'm gonna start making my way towards the green flappy thing and beckon everyone to come as well.
And I will follow.
Okay. With Eclipse leading the way up the mountain, you guys start to come towards the precipice of this mountain, and you come to the edge of a vast and deep crevasse with almost nowhere to go but down at this point. And you come across this green patch, and as you're drawing closer, about 100 feet away, you recognize this as a tent similar to what you guys had purchased at Frozen Far Expeditions. And this tent seems to be buried in about a foot of snow with just the edges of it that had come undone and unstaked out of the ground, flapping into the wind.
This doesn't look good.
Shall we knock?
I think we're good. And she'll move closer to the tent.
Okay. As you go into the tent, you look inside. Go ahead and give me an investigation check.
Woo! 19.
Very nice. So you open, you pull the flap of the tent open that was buried in snow, and you don't see anybody inside. But you find a empty wineskin and what looks like a half-eaten block of goat's cheese.
She'll take the cheese and she'll gesture it out to everyone and say, anyone want some cheese? Anyone hungry?
Yes, I will definitely like some cheese, please.
And she'll break off a chunk of it and throw it in the air for him to catch.
Dexterity check, Carcass. With the 6, it bounces right off your nose and into the snow.
And I will dive down into the snow mouth first to try and pick it back up.
And so you do. And you dive headfirst into the snow, and then you bite something that's much bigger than a piece of cheese that was ripped off of the block. Do you clench down and emerge back up?
Oh, of course.
So go ahead and give me a strength check with that.
That's a 16.
And with the 16, Carcass descends down into the snow, and going for the piece of cheese that has been thrown off for him to catch, he emerges back up with a blue boot.
This is very weird cheese.
I don't think that's cheese, Carcass. That looks like someone's shoe.
Oh, yes, it is mine. It is in my mouth.
I'm going to walk over and start digging in the snow where he had just plunged his face into.
Okay. And you take a walk over and you start to make your way towards the snow pile that the cheese fell into. And you see a very stumpy, hairy looking foot. That looks to be about the size of a dwarf. But as you turn the corner to where this snow pile is, you see on the side of where the tent is, half buried in snow, you see a tiefling sitting with her eyes open, cloak pulled up, knees pulled up into a sitting position, looking in your direction.
And I will wave over at her and say, "Hello. Are you Asterix?"
And the tiefling sits still, looking at you.
I'm going to slowly approach her, and as I step forward, to say, "We were sent here by Garrett's husband. He was very worried. We found your friend Perilou, and she is descending the mountain with some friends. She asked us to come look for you."
And Asterix continues to sit still.
Oh no. I'm gonna walk right up to her and wave a hand in front of her eyes.
There's no movement. There's no reaction. Just a seemingly desperate glare in the direction of where you're originally standing.
I'm gonna put my hand on her shoulder. Does it feel frozen? And
Like a block.
yeah. I'm gonna take off my hat and bow my head at her. And I'm gonna turn around to the rest of the party. I think she's dead.
We were too late.
I would like to go over to her and put my face right down in hers and see if she is dead.
Okay. Make a medicine check.
That is a 1.
She's looking at you.
I don't think she is dead. She is staring right at me.
Her eyes are frozen open, Carcass.
Oh, I didn't know you could freeze the eyes like that. What do you want to do with her?
That is a good question.
Is there something on her person that we could take back as a sign that we had found her body?
Yeah, if you'd like to take a look and make an investigation check to kind of look around to see what's in her bags and stuff.
It's a 7.
So you find a empty potion vial, and you seem to find some sort of journal.
I will definitely take that journal.
Lysander, with the 14, you notice that the potion that Eclipse discovers, it feels heavier than a empty potion vial would be. Feels like there's something in it, and you kind of move it around and shake it, and you feel like that there's something inside.
Interesting. I turn to Eclipse. Do you mind if I hold on to this?
That's fine.
All right. Well, I suppose there isn't anything else we can do for her. Let's head back to town.
So we're just going to leave her here?
We have to. We can't bring her with us.
Unless you want to carry her back.
I will try and pick her up and carry her.
Yeah, she's not very big, Carcass. You'll be able to pick her up.
Okay, I will pick her up and the best I can, since she is frozen, put her over my shoulder without breaking her apart.
Yeah, I mean, you do just fine in doing that.
Then I will turn to everyone and say, okay, well, if we need to go back, we should do it now. Then I will carry this one.
Very well. Let's head out.
Meanwhile, the blackened, stubby foot that you had uncovered remains there, and the wind that seems to be picking up at the precipice of this mountain starts blowing off the snow that's been disrupted, and it reveals a second boot, a blue boot similar to what Carcass had come up with.
Did they mention someone else for us to look for?
No. I think that that's a Dirigar from the fortress. I would like to go ahead and investigate that body since we're still here.
Sure, you'll take the time to uncover it, and as you start to pull this body out of the snowbank, you see that it's not a Duergar. The hair is very vibrant red, and that the foot was just blackened from frostbite at the time. And you find a, a mining pick on this individual, and a wineskin that seems to be full of some sort of liquid that is still not frozen. And you find a inscription on the miner's pick that has a name on it, and the name reads Barthum Hammerhorn.
I will go ahead and take the pick and bring it with us back to town. I lower my hat for him as well. I'm sorry we didn't make it in time. I stand up and walk away and head down the mountain quietly.
Okay. Anybody else? Anything they want to do before you guys leave the site?
Eclipse will go up next to Carcass and she'll pat his arm and say, "That's a very nice thing for you to carry her back down, Carcass."
Oh, yes, Pointer would want me to carry her down and see if they would pay us for her dead body.
I was thinking more so that we could bury her nicely, and that way the people who like her and are her friends can see her put to rest.
Oh, okay, they could do that too. But I know Pointer likes me to get the money.
She'll just kind of nod and start walking back down.
Oh, that one caught me off guard.
You are welcome.
Thank you, Carcass.
What, sorry, Sam, what was that inscription on the pickaxe again?
It was a name. It was Barthum Hammerhorn. So Bart and then Whom, Hoom.
Thank you.
Mhm.
All right. Shall we head on down the mountain?
Yep, let's go.
All right. And you guys start to make your way down the mountain to the path that Perilu had pointed out to you, and you find yourselves in the familiar territory that you found yourselves about 10 days ago, I'd say, maybe a little more. And you make the trek back to town. It is about 6 hours through the wilderness is what you remember the first time around. So, right. The sun starts to set as you guys make it down to the mountain base from that trek, from that path that Perilu points out. And you start to see movement up ahead. There's still light out, so everyone with normal vision only can still see them. But let's go ahead and make perception checks to see how well you can see.
It's a 14.
Wow.
6.
All right. So with the 14 carcass, you see 3 dwarves up ahead, seemingly off to your left, about 300 feet or 300 yards or so, and they seem to be making their way up the mountain. They're not using the entrance where the Durgar fortress is. They don't seem to be heading in that direction.
I will very excitedly point them out to the kitty.
She stepped away to use the bathroom real quick.
Okay.
Okay, I'm assuming everyone will see me do this.
Yes.
So as Carcass points them out, Lysander, what would you like to do?
Oh, how far away are they after he points them out?
300 yards or so. You can see it's a straight line traveling pack of 4, maybe 5 dwarves that you can tell.
Okay. I'm gonna turn to the rest of the party and say they may be looking for their friend. I'm gonna return this pickaxe to them.
Okay, I will stay here with the kitty.
Okay. And I'm gonna walk into their direction and yell out for them.
Okay, very good. And you head over and try to get the attention of these dwarves, and they turn towards you and they say, "Oh, I'm gonna help you."
Hello. Would you happen to be friends with Barthum Hammerhorn?
How do you know Barthum?
I don't know him, I'm afraid. But I found his body up on the mountain. I'm afraid I don't have some good news.
And as you draw closer, they, while you're still speaking and giving them information, they kind of get distracted and they say, "What kind of thing are you? You some sort of construct?" And they start to take a closer look and they notice the body and they say, "Well, this takes a bit of craftsmanship."
I look down at myself and then back at them. Yes, it did. Months, actually.
Sorry, what were you saying about how you know Barthum?
Well, are you heading up to find him, or what is your business on the mountain?
We were actually going to look for him. It's been about 2 months, and he hasn't been back. So we thought he was just got caught up with the lady, but we checked the town and he wasn't there, and they hadn't seen him. So we thought we'd take a look up the mountain on our way back to the valley.
I lower my head and take off my hat and say, I'm afraid I have some bad news for you.
No.
And I take a knee and I present the pickaxe to them. Say, I found him up on the mountain, frozen to death earlier today. I'm so sorry.
This is what we had feared. Thank you for saving some work for us. I can't say I have much to give you in return for this, but if you find yourselves in the Dwarven Valley, ask for Derek. Barthumi was a good man.
Yes,
You want to comment more about the virtues of the dead person that you don't know?
No. I was gonna say though, no need for payment. I thought that we might run into somebody that did know him, and anyway, I'm glad that our paths were able to cross.
Well, in any case, if you find your way down to the Dwarven Valley, just ask for me.
Very well.
And his name is Derek. Darrak. Battlehorn.
Okay.
And the dwarves, they take the pickaxe from you and they nod in appreciation, and they start about facing and heading back the way they came.
And I will turn back to my party and head back to them. And just say, small world.
Yeah, no kidding. Well, I'm glad we got to tell them.
Me too. Let us continue.
What did they give you for the axe?
I look at Carcass. I say, their respect.
Oh, I don't think Pointy can spend respect. Okay, we can go.
No comment. As we continue on.
All right. Continuing on, you guys find the path towards town that you had traveled before. But as the snow's starting to come down, it seems to start coming down a little bit more frequently, getting very, very much a heavier snow at this point. So I'm going to need a survival check to be able to continue through this this weather.
That's a 6 for carcass.
All right, and Eclipse got a 16. So Lysander and Carcass start to veer off course, but Eclipse is able to correct you guys, and you find yourselves shortly after nightfall on the outskirts of Kaer Konig. Where would you guys like to go?
Probably to the nearest inn, if I were to hazard a guess.
All right.
Well, yeah. I'd say before we head into town, though, maybe we should address that Carcass is carrying a carcass.
Yes, I would like to find someone to purchase this thing. It does get heavy after a little while.
It is not a thing, carcass.
Well, it is not alive, so it is a thing now. I think that's how it works.
It just means they are no longer living.
Above table, that is how that works.
Because it's technically their body. They were in possession of said body, so it's technically just a body right now.
Technically, I am in possession of the body now. They are not using it anymore.
Yeah, you can't sell dead bodies.
Oh, you watch me.
All right, does that
No.
fix anything?
No, no, no. We need to go find Perilou, because Perilou was her friend. Therefore, if anything, her body belongs to Perilou or to this tiefling's family.
Okay, they can buy it for sure.
Or we could give it to them as a present to be nice, right, Carcass?
I don't think Pointy would like that.
I think Pointy would be in agreement.
I think you and I know different Pointies. He gets very upset when we do not get what he calls the pay.
Well, we can't. I'm sure that in the past, however you do business with dead bodies, I'm sure that he has told you that you can't just stroll into town carrying one.
Oh, I don't know. He says a lot of things. I don't understand most of them.
Well, we can't just stroll into town carrying a dead body.
Does one of us have a blanket or something that we could possibly wrap her in?
I'm sure one of you guys have a bedroll that you can drape over Carcass to obscure the body or something to that nature.
I'll just use mine and drape it over her body.
Okay, that works for me.
What time is it getting to be right now?
It's hard to say at the moment, but the sun is down, and it went down recently, so you'd probably think around maybe 5 or 6 in the evening.
Okay. So, I think that our first order of business would be to maybe reconvene at Frozen Far and Expedition, see where everybody else might have gone to.
Okay. So, you guys make your way over to Frozen Far, and the door is still unlocked. It looks like Atnas Swift is inside, manning the counter like he normally is, and he sees you guys enter through the door. He says, "Ah, just actually missed your friends. They left probably about hour or two ago, maybe a couple more. Sun was still up.
Did they say where they were going?
Yes. Actually, all of them kind of reconvened here with Garrett and the halfling. I forget her name. Para something. Paratroop. Paratroop.
Paraloo.
Paraloo. That's it. Uh, they said they were gonna make their way to Bryn Shander, as that seemed to be the place where Garrett's significant other was waiting for him.
They didn't decide to wait here in the town where we could meet them?
No, it does not seem so. I think Garrett was quite happy to see one of his compatriots back and wanted to make their way to Bryn Shander.
They didn't decide to hole up here for the night, for just one night to wait for us?
No, Garrett actually paid for a sled of dogs to take them.
Well, we were able to locate their tiefling friend Asterix. She didn't make it.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah. Carcass here was kind enough to carry her body down from the mountain. We thought that we would bring it down for her to find a place to be laid to rest. He has different intentions with the body. He thinks that he can sell it. But I was going to ask you, does she have any friends around here that we could leave it in possession of?
Well, I don't know about friends around here. I've only met them once, but I'm sure we can have people send word that a missing tiefling has been turned up, and we can keep her in the morgue in town.
Okay. Maybe you might talk to him about that. I've had a very long day.
Sure. Carcass, would you like to turn over possession of the body to me? As Atnus Swift starts to walk up towards you and motion with his hands out.
Oh, okay. And before I lay her over, I will put my hand out for payment.
And he's going to take a look at you kind of side-eyed a little bit. And he's going to say, are you expecting gold, or are you expecting anything in particular?
Yes. My best friend, he always says that
Before you finish your sentence, he says, good, anything in particular, and he pulls out a little slab of beef jerky and puts it in your hand.
And I throw the body to the floor and take the beef jerky and put it in my bag.
And he says, that's right. And he quickly tries to pick up Asterix, and luckily she didn't shatter on the fall. The bedroll kind of cushioned her from hitting the floor and breaking. And he says, pleasure doing business with you, Carcass.
Oh, yes, it is always a pleasure with Carcass and things. I will tell my best friend how much you gave me for her.
Oh, good. I'm sure that will be sufficient for him.
Yes, he will be very happy with me for making a deal.
And Atnus Swift looks back over to Lysander and he says, that wasn't so hard. So, with that, where would you guys like to go now?
I'd say that we go ahead and go to the inn, get a good night's rest. Actually, before we do, I would like to ask Atlas, did Garrett happen to be kind enough to pay for a sled of dogs for the rest of us on our return?
And he points out that, he took the last sled that I had, unfortunately, but he did ask.
Well, I guess it's the thought that counts. Unfortunate as that may be, but I understand. Thank you.
Yeah,
And-
anytime.
Yeah, so in that case, we got a long walk ahead of us. Let's go to the inn, get a good night's rest, hot meal for you guys, and we'll head out in the morning.
Before you guys leave, Atnus, he says, did any of the gear that I gave you come in handy?
Yes,
How
it did.
was the climb?
Very treacherous.
Oh, people like Garrett make a killing off of that single path. It's for thrill seekers, and I've heard that narrow gap is something that only true professionals can really master.
Then consider us professionals, I guess.
I would have to say so if you did it without a guide, and that's pretty impressive. You guys have a lot of moxie about you.
Oh no, I don't have any moxie. I do have some cheese though.
Oh, that's very nice. That'll go good with the jerky I just gave you.
Oh no, that's in my bag now.
Well, you could put them in the bag together.
They are.
Perfect. Anyway, with that, you guys start to head back and head into the Northern Light, the inn here in town. Not too far away from Frozen Far Expeditions. You guys are able to make it there pretty quickly, and you enter with a very cold disposition about you, having been out in the wilderness for a while. And the woman at the counter, she says, "Oh, we heard what you did for that guide and one of his compatriots. The room is on the house tonight if you would like. If not, we can give you guys a hot meal and send you on your way."
Yes, we will go ahead and take the room that he has paid for.
Oh no, this is on our account. This is a good deed that you've done for Caer Konig. If more travelers and adventurous go missing, it's bad for business.
I can understand why.
Indeed. So please, the same rooms that you had used before, they're open tonight. And on the menu, we have a little bit of a change of pace. We have some gamey crag cat.
Did you say the food was free?
If you were to turn down the room, we wanted to give you something for free, and it was the either or.
Oh, okay. I don't have any money.
I will take the room. Thank you.
Very good. Well, if anything changes, you know where to come.
Thank you. I'm going to turn to Zizix and say, Zizix, would you mind to accompany me to my room?
Sure. Did I do something?
No, you're not in trouble.
Well, everyone's always yelling at me for stuff. I don't know.
I don't yell at you.
Well, you don't, but I don't. People think I'm just dramatic. The things really do try and kill me.
I won't argue with that statement. But you're here and alive now, so that makes you a pretty tough guy.
No, just lucky. That's why I've been working on some of them. I've been working on some potions to try and, keep me alive longer. They're all just, work in progress,
Yeah, sounds like that could be useful. But speaking of, and I pull out that potion vial from Asterix's corpse, say, what do you make of this?
And he'll tap his chin while adjusting his his monocle, taking a look at it, and he use I guess to kind of see if I know what the potion is. Do I do a
Intelligence check, yeah.
check? Okay.
Yeah. And then if this fails, you will have to revert to doing a identification spell.
Well, I think that stops that.
Go ahead and say what you got.
Nat 20.
Look at that.
Oh, nice.
So, you're able to immediately see that this seemingly empty vial, you give it a good shake, and you can feel the sloshing of some liquid inside of it. You know that it's a potion of invisibility.
Well, you see how you can't see anything in this vial?
And I nod my head.
And Zizix is gonna motion him to lean down to him.
So I do.
And Zizix is gonna whisper, "It's because it's invisible." And if you drink it, it'll turn you invisible as well. But don't tell anyone.
Yeah. How about we just keep this between the two of us?
And Zizix will tap his nose. There are some people that would be really interested in that.
Indeed. Well, that might come in useful, or that might be very valuable. Whichever purpose it needs to serve first.
Would you mind if I keep a hold of that? Two reasons. First one, so I can, experiment with it, see if I can maybe reproduce what's inside. And second reason is if I get in a pinch and I'm about to get killed, That will help out a lot.
Well, I would like to experiment with it too. Tell you what, how about we split the bottle? Do you have another empty vial we could pour half of it into?
Well, I do have an empty vial, but if I'm correct, you can't really split these things. You know, you gotta have every drop of the potion. Otherwise, it's not gonna have enough potency.
Yes, you would turn opaque instead of invisible.
Ah, that does make sense. Truth be told, I'm not even sure that that would even work on me. So, yeah, how about you go ahead and hang on to it?
Thank you. Remember, this is a secret between us. But here, let me give you something that, just in exchange.
And what might that be?
Well, I've been trying to create some of my own potions. And this one, um, he's gonna give him just a random potion. So let me, I guess, just roll a d6. One sec.
Tell you what, I'm gonna hold up a hand before you do that. Say, you help me upgrade my armor, and we'll call it even.
Well, here's the thing. See Oliver over there?
I do.
Yeah, kind of sapping all of my energy. So I'm a little unable to do more infusions and upgrades.
Perhaps you need a good night's rest, my friend.
No, I just need to get better and stronger. I don't know.
Well, that could.
Maybe
that
slay a
could-
dragon or something. I don't know.
If you think that would help.
Well, if it doesn't, it's gonna kill me. So,
Well, what kind of potion would you offer in exchange that would be just as valuable as that?
let me give me one sec.
Because I've also got some ideas for this gauntlet that you've crafted for me as well.
So, take this. And I'm going to give you a potion that is labeled 58.
And what does 58 mean?
That's my 58th experiment.
Uh-huh. And what does it do?
See, that's the thing. I don't know. But I know it does something crazy.
I would like to have a for sure thing if you don't mind.
Well, okay.
You want
One
to
sec.
take a look at the potion and inspect it before you hand it back?
I mean, yeah, I would do that.
Okay. So, when you look at this potion, it glows very vividly, but you see that the liquid takes like a flickering form, and you can tell that there's possibly some sort of flammability involved in this potion, like some sort of fire magic is inside.
Yeah, this looks like it could be rather volatile. I mean, do you drink it or throw it on the ground and hope it explodes or something?
Oh, no, no, no. This is a potion. This is something that you ingest, and it's theoretically gives you abilities. As an enhancement. Think of it as an enhancement. If it makes you feel better, just because I'm trying to experiment with these things, I can't really take these things myself because, if things go bad, then, there's not necessarily someone that can help me. So I need someone to try it for me, and I can be there to help them. You know what I mean?
Do you want me to test this potion out?
Could you?
How about you let Carcass drink it?
Okay. If I don't really care who drinks it. I just need to know what it does.
Well, I'm
to
not
see
sure.
To see if it actually does what I'm wanting it to do.
Understood. I'm just not sure that I'm the right man for the job, seeing as how I'm made of mostly metal, and people that tend to drink these are.
That's a good point. Don't know how a mechanical body would really react to something like this. We need a biological life form.
I think Carcass is the perfect candidate.
I think you're right.
He likes to eat things.
Yeah.
So, yeah, let's see what it does to him, and you might just ask him. He might be a very willing candidate. How about you just go ahead and hang on to the potion of invisibility, and we'll find a way. You'll owe me a favor or something.
Yeah. That works for me.
And then I'll hold out my hand for him to shake it, and we'll call it good.
Okay. I assume you shake hands.
Yeah.
All right. And during this time, Carcass and cat fight. Carcass and Eclipse, speaking of cat fight, are out in the bar, or out in the dining area, and the woman who was bartending said, Carcass, I did hear that you couldn't pay, and, well, we thought, since you guys are all sharing rooms, we'd be able to give you some food on the house.
Oh, I like food, but I don't want it on the house. On the plate would be fine.
Yes, of course. And Eclipse, would you like some as well?
I would, thank you. I can pay for mine, if that's okay.
That's absolutely okay. We appreciate it. And they come back with nice, creamy-looking bowls of cragcat stew, and they say, we've dressed it up as best we could, but I know cragcat is a little on the gamey side, but we believe it tastes pretty damn good for what it is.
And I
It
will
looks
take out
delicious.
my special fork and I will just start eating.
Yeah, you get all the chunks with your special fork. It tastes
Well,
great.
it looks delicious, yes.
Oh, thank you very much. And during this time, there's an elfish man who approaches you guys, and he says, how's your night going?
It's going well. And yourself?
Oh, not too bad. Bartender, can I get something besides beer or a lager or besides a mead? Do you have anything different?
Zizix is gonna pipe up and say, "I have one."
I thought you guys were in the room.
Oh, I'm sorry, I thought we go back. Sorry.
No, this would be during the discussion you guys had.
No problem. No problem.
All right. So the bartender says, no, I don't think we have anything outside of that. Even the firewater probably is about some. It's a bit repetitive for your taste. And the man says, yeah, it's. I would just kill for some rum, you know, just some real nice old-fashioned rum. And he looks to you, and he looks to Eclipse and Carcass, and he says, you two look like the adventuring sort.
I suppose we are.
Surely you've encountered something more than just beer or meat or firewater around here, haven't you?
I mean, not recently. We have a friend who makes weird things to drink.
Well, let me give you a little tip. Just because I'm not the adventuring type, but I think there's a killing to be made, a lot of gold to be made, if you were to acquire some rum. What if I told you I had an idea of where you could possibly find some?
I mean, we wouldn't be opposed to listening about it, but I'm not sure how that would benefit us.
Well, you'd go ahead and make the money off the purchase, and I would just go to wherever you sold it, and I would be a patron of that bar. That's what I have it for me, and I'm really just wanting something more than just beer. The mead seems to have gone also from this wretched place. But let me go ahead and tell you that I heard if you head northwest out of Bremen, there's a pirate ship that's collected a lot of ice. And I don't think anyone's been out there. At least not for a while from last reports. I bet if those pirates froze to death, there's still some rum on that ship.
So we could hypothetically bring it back here.
Bring it back here, bring it back to Bremen, whatever. I'll eventually come across that news would spread quickly. I believe the ship was called the Dark Duchess.
Dark Duchess. Well, it certainly sounds like an endeavor worth looking into.
I would say so, and you know, who knows, there may be further treasures than just rum on board.
Eclipse will look at Carcass and say, what do you think, Carcass? Nice drinks and shiny things to get?
Do you think they would have food on their ship?
Perhaps not thawed food. It'd probably be very frozen.
I can eat frozen food. I can eat most things.
And where did you say the ship was located again?
This is northwest of Bremen, towards the Sea of Moving Ice.
I see. Well, thank you for the tip.
Yeah, I hope to hear news of a new rum shipment sometime soon.
Of course. Well, we will try to let you know, or try to get it spread out as fast as we can.
I look forward to it. Now, I've bothered you enough. I'll leave you to your meals. Have a good night.
And to you.
And the man, as quickly as he came, returns back to his seat, drinking his very, very sad lager with sad eyes.
If I was not busy eating my food, I might feel sad for him.
So,
But I would like to finish eating and then go to the room.
all right. Same for you, Eclipse.
Yeah.
Okay. So, you guys finish eating just fine, and you make your way to your rooms. I assume Carcass is gonna try and stay with Eclipse.
Yes, Pointy told me to watch out for her and not
Okay.
let anything happen to her.
Anything you would like to do before you head to bed?
No, just. Oh, nope, just finish up our meal and pay for it.
All right. 3 silver for the meal for you.
Okay.
All right. So, with that, we'll check in with Lysander and Zizix after your guys' conversation. Did you guys want to go eat some food, or are you just gonna be content with what food you have in your packs and head to bed?
Oh, Zizix would go and eat some food.
All right.
I'm gonna stay up in my room and journal.
Sounds good. So Zizix, you head out into the dining area, and she says, I was wondering if you had gone to bed or not, says the barmaid. She says, you interested in some crag cat tonight?
Well, yeah. Ain't no stinking fish.
And she says, good. 3 silver, and we'll be able to fetch you a bowl.
Sounds good.
And she brings it back, and she looks over to the corner of the room, and she says, that poor elf. He looks so sad drinking his beer. He was up here just a while ago talking to your friends about some pirate ship that might have rum on it.
My eyes get bigger. Can you point out who it was? Who?
And she says, that guy over there. And she points over in the direction of this long-haired, golden blonde-colored elf. He was up here asking for rum and was real disappointed when, obviously, we didn't have any alternatives.
And I will slowly try and look at the person out of the corner of my eye. Do I recognize this person?
No, you do not.
Okay. Did he say what ship it was?
Said the Dark Duke, something like that.
And Zizix is gonna just tell the bartender, if anyone asks, I was never here. And I'm just gonna walk away.
Okay. And she says, fine. And says, here, take your food first.
He would just keep walking straight to his room.
Zizix, as you ignore her call and you continue back down to the hallway, are you going back to your room or are you headed outside?
What time of the day is it?
It's nighttime.
Then yeah, I'd go back to my room.
Alright. And Zizix returns in a short amount of time. Literally 5 minutes.
Who am I rooming with?
I assumed Lysander.
Okay.
Okay, yeah, that's what I was about to ask. So I look up from my journaling and say, well, you weren't gone long?
Yeah, yeah. I'm really sleepy. I think I'm just gonna go to bed.
Does he seem a little frantic? He sounds a little frantic.
Yeah, go ahead and make an insight check to kind of make that distinguish that from normal Zizix.
Yeah, is he ever?
Yeah, that's seem a little more frantic than usual.
Yeah, you kind of feel like maybe something that happened out there might have shook him up a little bit.
Yeah, I'm gonna ask, what happened? Is everything okay?
Oh, yeah, everything's okay. I'm. It's just been a very long day, and I think I just want to go to sleep in a nice, comfortable bed.
Zizix, did something happen downstairs? You weren't down there long enough to eat.
No, nothing happened. Everything's okay. I'm just there was just a wave of exhaustion just came over me. I think these late nights are just starting to catch up.
Well, I rolled a 12 on my inside. Is that checking out?
So I guess I would have Zizix roll a deception check or a persuasion check. Yeah, checks out.
You said it checks out.
Checks out.
Well, if you say so.
And before Zizix kind of rolls into bed, he's gonna turn to Oliver and just kind of whisper to him, "If anyone comes in here, you attack them viciously."
Do I hear that?
Let's make a stealth check for Zizix and we'll compare it to Lysander's passive perception. Yeah, that's gonna go just above your ears and you're not gonna pick up on it.
Okay.
And Zizix heads to bed. Lysander, are you gonna pick back up on your journaling?
Yep, I'm gonna write for a little bit before I go to bed too. Or Sentry's rest.
And you all get a nice long rest. So you can remove a point of exhaustion from your totals if you have any. And you awaken to a very dark morning. You've slept long enough to feel rested, but it's still dark outside when you awaken. And we pick back up with Lysander, Eclipse, Zizix, and Carcass gathering around the table waiting for some breakfast, and the barmaid comes out and offers a plate of eggs and some toast. Anybody would like to partake? It is 2 silver.
Cool. I will.
What would you guys like to do at this point?
I guess we should discover our next plan of action.
Alright.
So I turn to everybody at the party. I guess our next course of action is to go to Bryn Shander to meet up with everyone, correct?
Yes, we should let them know about Asterix and whatever else we found up there. We also did get a bit of a tip last night from a very helpful stranger here in the bar.
What kind of tip?
He said that there was a frozen pirate ship northwest of Brenner, was it? That could Brennan, that would possibly be full of rum and other valuable exports.
Oh, really?
That may be valuable for some towns to take on as a product to sell.
Did you get the man's name?
No, I didn't.
No, he just told us the name of the ship.
What was the name of the ship?
He called it the Bark Digests.
No, it was called the Dark Duchess.
Have and Zizix is gonna just like choke on his eggs a little bit. Have you guys heard of the Dark Duchess?
I mean, not before last night.
There's nothing good there.
Oh, care to enlighten us, Six?
Just trust me on this one. Nothing good will come of exploring that wreckage.
Well, we almost died on a mountain, so I'd rather, take my chances on that pirate ship, thanks.
For what purpose?
I don't know, we could, get that rum and bring it to towns in need of some income so they could get some money. And, maybe there's something in it for us too.
There's nothing on that ship.
And you know this how?
Because I was on it.
There sounds like a story there to unpack there, friend.
No story, just facts. There is nothing on that ship.
So the ship does not have any frozen food?
No.
What were you doing on that ship, Zizix? Curious that you never brought this up before.
We all had lives before we met each other.
Yes, and I was pretty forthcoming as to the plight of my situation. You were to me too, for the most part, but what's got you so uneasy about this ship?
Well, the ship is wrecked, and I was on it. Can you guys correlate what happened?
We're, if you happen to be the reason that the ship had wrecked, we're not going to hold it against you.
I'm not the reason that the ship is wrecked. I mean, I was the reason my lab blew up, but that's another story. I did not sink this ship.
Nobody said that you did.
Well, you were implying it.
Not implying anything. You said it was wrecked. You asked to put the two together. It's like, oh, did you wreck the ship? That's what I'm not trying to be difficult here. I'm trying to understand what you're saying. You're being real vague with the details here, friend.
The barmaid interrupts and she says, is that going to fill you up, or would you guys like a second round?
Carcass, would you like some more? I can pay for it.
Yes, I would, because I do not have any money.
Okay, then 2 more meals for us, please.
And what about you, Zizix? Would you like to eat something?
I seem to have lost my appetite. And I'll slide my eggs over to Caucus.
And I will start eating them.
There's a plate sharing fee. Brand new.
And I will put my hand on my great axe and stare at the birds.
I'm only pulling your leg, Carcass. I'll be right out with 2 more.
I will lean over to the kitty and say, she was not pulling my leg.
She likes to make jokes.
Oh, okay.
Anyway, how about we go meet the rest of our friends and see what they have to say about this Trojan ship, huh?
Well, I think first order of business is to find our friends, yes, but we still do need to find out. We still need to follow up with that job, since we did take this, unprecedented detour to save at least Garrett and Perilou.
Yes, that's only fair. We can take that time to think about it.
Of course. I turn back to Zizix. Zizix, we didn't mean to upset you. I'm sorry bringing this up churned up some bad memories. I'm just trying to understand.
I just wish that you would take my word over a stranger.
I'm not taking any word on anything. I'm just trying to understand from your perspective. If you say there's nothing there, then I'll believe you. I just want to know what happened. I did not mean to make light of whatever you experienced on that ship.
There is nothing there because I was the last person alive. And I had to consume everything just to make it to civilization.
The audible sound of forks drop as the eyes of the tavern turn towards the party.
I have no more questions, friend.
And then Zizix is going to turn to the rest of the tavern and just yell, "Does anyone else have any other questions?"
Eating quickly resumes, and the sound of chatter and forks hitting plates and scraping up against them resumes.
Then Zizus will gonna turn to Carcass and say, Carcass, drink this. This will put some fire in your step, and we need to make haste out of here.
And I will get up, grab what he is asking me to drink it down as I run out the door.
And he's drinking which one?
58.
Okay. So, Carcass, your first leave, or is everyone else getting up before Carcass?
Not before him, but I'll follow him out with my gear and Ollie.
Okay. So Carcass, you ingest this potion.
Oh, yes.
You feel really warm once you drink this, and you seem to feel like, cold can't really touch you at this point. And the rest of the party, you take a look, and Carcass starts to make haste and head out the door. The table that Carcass was sitting in when he uses his hands to get himself up, the spot where his hands were leaves a flame imprint as the table starts to turn into catch fire. His hooves, as he marches and makes haste out the door, leaves fiery footprints, and as he pushes open the door, the door catches fire and starts to burn.
I'm going to help in putting out the flames that have just surfaced from the floor and the table and the door.
What are you using?
I'm going to try to stomp out the hoof prints with my feet.
Okay. We'll call that a survival check.
That's a 9.
Okay. You get a few of them, but he takes tiny footsteps when he makes haste, oddly enough. And there seems to be more than you can put out at this given time, as there's still tracks that are starting to ignite and start to spread across the floor. What is everyone else doing?
Eclipse is gonna call to the barmaid for water or something to put out this fire.
Yeah, and she heeds your call, and she heads back into the kitchen. What is Zizix doing?
Oh, he's out the door with Carcass.
Okay, so you're following behind Carcass, keeping pace with him, or trying your best to?
Yeah.
Okay. So Zizix, Lysander, if you would like to continue putting out the hoof prints, make another survival check.
That's an 11 that time.
With that, you've taken enough time to try to stamp out the rest of the hoof prints, and you have done so. However, the table and the door are still on fire. Eclipse, your next turn?
She's gonna try to get the water from the barmaid to put out the table.
You start to make your way back towards the kitchen, and the barmaid comes out with a bucket of water, and she hands it over to you.
Alright, I'm gonna throw it on the table.
Alright, and you use the water to extinguish the fire that's been put on the table, and it trickles down to the hoof prints where Carcass was sitting and where he got up to stand, and those flames are taken out as well. And this just leaves the door. Carcass continuing to make haste.
Oh yes, no one has called for me, so I'm going to keep making the haste.
Zizix, Carcass is gaining distance from you as he is faster.
can I use my dash to kind of try and keep up, or is he also like
He's also dashing.
Then then Zizix will call out, "Carcass, slow down a little. I got little legs."
Do I hear him?
Make a performance check, Zizix. Yes, you hear him.
Then I will go at my normal pace, but still running.
Okay. And Zizix, you're about 15 feet away from Carcass when you catch up to him.
Okay. And so I'm gonna say, Carcass, do you feel any different?
I don't think so.
Do you feel warmer than usual?
And I will start to feel myself to see if I feel warmer.
You feel like you do feel a little bit warmer.
Okay, yes, I feel like I'm a little warmer.
And Carcass,
Fine.
you look down and you see that you're now currently standing in a puddle of water.
Where did all this water come from?
My friend, it came from you. It looks like that potion may just need a little tweaking.
And with that, I will stop.
Okay. And then we'll go back to Lysander and Eclipse, who are trying to put out the fire that is manifested on the door. What is your next move?
I'm gonna go outside and pack some snow and try to use it to douse the flames.
Okay. At this point, with the time that it's taken to put out the hoof steps, the fire on the table, the patrons there at the bar have also started to get up and try to leave. There's about 15 of them or so. So when you exit the door, you squeeze through and you make your way outside and you start gathering up snow, and you try to hurl it and douse the flames with it. Go ahead and make a give me a strength and dexterity check. That
Yeah,
is
it's
a save.
Oh, whoops.
You're good.
Wrong one.
Can I make one as well?
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, that works.
Yeah, there we go.
So both of you start heading out the door, and you start packing up snow onto the door, and you hear the sss of the flames start to be extinguished from the snow. And you look over to your left, and you see Zizix and Karka standing about 150 feet away.
Eclipse is gonna lean over to Lysander and say, "Did he know what that potion was gonna do?"
No, I don't think he did.
Good. Otherwise, I'd be really mad at him right now.
I'm still not happy about this situation.
Fair enough.
I'm gonna go back in and apologize to the barmaid.
And she says, I don't know exactly what happened, but I'm sure it was an accident.
I would say that it is. I can't even really explain what happened myself.
Strange things happens in 10 towns. Everyone knows this.
Indeed, strange things tend to follow us around. Thank you for breakfast, and I bid you a good day. I tip my hat at her and walk out the door.
All right. Eclipse, are you rejoining Zizix and Carcass at this time?
Yeah, I'm gonna walk over there with my arms crossed, not looking too happy.
All right. And you make your way over there, and Carcass and Zizix, you see Eclipse approaching with her arms crossed with a furrowed brow.
Is the snow around me still melting?
Yes.
I would like then to get down onto a knee so that I'm looking closer to Styx in the eyes, and I'll say, Styx, am I dying?
No, my friend. You're just more alive.
Okay. I trust you.
Look, doesn't that make it easier to move through the snow?
Oh, I did not think about that. That would be very good.
Right? It would make traveling so much easier. But I still think I need to tweak it a little. And I'll take out my little notepad and start writing some notes.
All right. And Lysander, I assume you're headed this direction as well?
Yeah, but question, is it in the direction of Bryn Shander?
Yeah, so this town only has one roadway exit, which is southeast or so.
Okay. Then yeah, I will go to meet them.
Yeah, and you make your way over and you see Eclipse's arms are crossed and she seems to be looking over Zizix and Carcass is on the ground on a knee in a puddle of water where his knee is, and then also where his leg has extended out down to his hoof. It starts to melt into water as well.
Eclipse is gonna ask Zizix, how long do you estimate this effect lasting?
Well, it's kind of hard to say.
Because I really don't want to deal with a burning carcass the whole trip there.
Well, as this is the first time I have made this, we'll just have to wait and see.
Are you aware that he burns everything that he touches?
What? No?
He nearly set fire to the inn that we just left.
And he'll scratch his beard, take out his notebook again, and start scratching down some other things. Yes, I need to tweak it a little bit.
Maybe you should. I'm going to turn to Carcass and say, don't touch anything that can catch on fire.
Okay. What will catch on fire?
Trees, wood, hair, people.
Well, I touched myself, but I did not light on fire.
Somehow you are immune to the effect. Sorry. It doesn't burn you, but you burn other things and people when you touch them.
Okay, I will not touch the people.
Yeah. Or straw, or, anything that you would use to build a fire. Don't touch it.
Oh, can I cook my own meal this way?
You just might be able to. That may have its own advantages.
Yes. We should go and find something for Carcass to cook.
Well, don't we have a meat hunk?
No, Pointy, he carries the meat hunks.
Hmm.
I still have some of that cheese left over.
Yes, I will take that and create the first fondue.
And I gladly hand it over.
Fondue? What's that?
It is something only I can make now, as I am now the king of fire.
So, when Eclipse hands over the cheese, you see that it starts to bubble and starts to melt into your hands, and then it rehardens around your hand, and you look down and you try to get back up, and you feel the hairs on your leg starting to get pulled by the ice that is formed around these what were water puddles.
That's okay, I don't mind the hair pulling because I now have a cheese hand.
Yes. Unstoppable Carcass with the cheese hand.
You get a +1 bonus to delicious.
Yes.
Okay.
You're gonna look to the other people, to Lysander and Eclipse, and say, I think I see this as a success.
And I will say, me too, as I start eating the cheese off of my hand.
Delicately, or just like rubbing your hand on your face and licking it as it breaks off?
I'm going to go to town on this hand.
Alright, so Carcass with cheese starts just going to town, and he's getting cheese all around his face and getting some of it inside and chewing fervorously. You're gonna say something, Lysander?
I was gonna, in response to Zizek saying that it was a success, I'm like, it certainly is something. Although, that would not have been good if it had burned down the inn and all the people inside.
Well, true. But did they?
No, thanks to Eclipse and me. You're welcome.
Well, I'm sure they could have handled it themselves.
So, just so you know what happened specifically, his handprints on the table, he set fire to the table. His hoof prints on the floor as he left fiery hoof prints on the floor. And then when he pushed on the door, he set fire to the door. We had to put all that out.
Yeah. It needs some tweaking. My intent was to create a potion that would be everlasting warmth, so that you could stay outside in this temperature zone and never feel cold. It may have done a little bit more heat than it was supposed to, but I'll make that change and make it better next time.
Then I would say that at least this is the start of something good. I think I would be in agreement with your motive here. Shall we head to Bryn Shander then, and keep an eye on Carcass?
I'll turn back to Carcass and say, are you still feeling warm?
And I will quickly feel myself again.
No, you've returned to a normal temperature.
Oh, no, I don't feel warm anymore.
Maybe it's burning too quickly, kind of like, a candle wick. The hotter the flame, the quicker the candle goes down. I just need to balance that out. I think I may be onto something.
Yeah, perhaps you are. But until then, let's go find our friends in Bryn Shander.
All right. So you guys start to make your way out of town and head along the road to Caer Dineval. Whoever's leading the party, please make a survival check.
I guess that would be me. Yeah, 15.
Yeah, 15. You stay on the road and you make good time. It only takes about an hour and a half, and the sun has risen during this journey. And you guys find yourselves in the city of Caer Dineval.
All right. I guess they would have had to come through here before going to Bryn Shander, right?
Mhm.
I'm going to turn to Zizix and Eclipse and ask, do you think maybe they stopped here to take a break? Maybe we can get more information at the inn.
Possibly. I don't see any harm in checking.
Zizix will nod.
All right. So as you guys get into town, Sorry, what was that?
Oh, nothing. Sorry.
As you guys get into town, you walk past the tavern that's been closed down, and you make your way towards the base of the hilltop where the castle sits, and you make your way to the upward climb.
All right, I guess we'll knock on the door. I assume Kadrath would be there, or Kadroth.
Oh, were you going to the tavern or the castle?
I forgot that the castle was here. They would probably have stopped there first.
Okay. So you knock on the door, and one of the guards open up, and they say, "Ah, Lysander and friends, you've returned. Where's the rest of you?"
Well, we thought that they might have come through here, actually. So we were just checking in to see if they might have stopped here. We heard tell that they had gone to Bryn Shander.
No, nobody stopped by. Not in the past few days since you guys came through to go north.
I turn to Zizix and ask, what do you make of that?
Well, I mean, we don't really know where they're at, so he may be telling the truth.
Yeah, I believe that he is. I just find it odd that they wouldn't stop here on their way. I guess they would have gotten a pretty hefty head start being on a dog sled.
Yeah, they may not have needed to stop.
Yeah, maybe not. Then maybe we don't either. So I guess we'll continue on our way. I turn back to the guard, tip my hat to him, say thank you.
Oh, can we invite you guys in to stay for lunch break if you guys are headed on the road?
That is entirely up to the three of you.
Yes, lunch sounds good. I'm very hungry.
Okay, then I guess we'll stop for lunch.
All right. And he says, okay, very good. You guys can make your way to the grand hall, and once dinner is served, we'll be able to call you guys in and serve you up.
Thank you very much.
Anytime. You guys make your way inside, and the fireplace is lit. It's nice and warm in here. It's a brief break from the tumultuous cold that is everlasting, seemingly. You don't see any sign of Kadroth at the moment. You see a few guards that are standing around. A few of the new initiates are getting a tour around the castle, and all seems to be pretty quiet here. Is there anything you'd like to do while you wait?
Not me, not particularly. I'm just gonna wait for them to finish up so we can head out.
Yeah, just waiting on lunch to be served.
Alright. So you guys sit around and wait for about an hour or so before lunch is served, and it looks like there's some sort of grilled cheese and knucklehead soup being served.
More hot cheese.
This cheese is
favorite.
melty. It is not cold. And the chef serves it up for you guys and asks that if you guys like it, please let him know. It's a new recipe he's trying out. It's a fairly new type of cheese that they've been making.
I will tell him I like it even before I take my first bite.
And he laughs to himself and he says, I thought you might. And nods to the rest of the party before heading back into the kitchen. So, somebody gonna say something?
Oh, yeah, just that Eclipse is just gonna start eating.
Yep, you guys make it through lunch. No disturbances whatsoever. The guards and initiates kind of keep to themselves, and let's see. You do overhear some interesting conversation. Let's see. You hear a few of the guards talking to an initiate. And the initiate starts asking if the guard is aware of a black cabin that's kind of sitting around in the outskirts of, let's see, which town is that? Un momento, por favor. If anyone's heard of the black cabin that sits outside of Lonely Wood to the northeast, and the guard doesn't seem to be aware of this, and the initiate said that he had heard rumors that there was a gnome in Bryn Shander that seems to know of some experiments that were going on inside of this cabin. But he's a little saddened to hear that the guard isn't aware of this.
Who overhears this?
You guys at the table, you all do. They're not hushing this down or anything.
So Zizix will turn to the person and say, "Experiments, you say?"
And the initiate is kind of taken aback, and he looks down and he says, "Yeah, it's been there forever, but the last time I was through Bryn Shander, this gnome, his name was Copper. He stays at the House of Morning Lord. He was saying that there's some sort of experimentation happening there, but that seems like a tall tale, and I just wondered if there was any truth to that."
Well, I'm not aware of that, but I would be very interested myself.
Well, if you find anything out, I would love to know.
Okay, will you be here?
I've just initiated myself. I will be here. My name's Xavier.
Xavier, well, thank you for the information.
Yep, and he rolls away in his wheelchair, seemingly without pushing.
And very intrigued, I will take my monocle down and kind of inspect his wheelchair from afar just to see how he's doing it.
Seems like he's doing it with his mind. It's a bald man, very old.
Mhm.
Love it.
You said that the gnome's name was Copper?
Just Copper.
Huh. Copper.
Is his last name Field?
Man, I hope so.
He doesn't know his last name.
Can he bend metal with his mind?
No, he knows of a dwarf named Magneto. Or Magnetos.
Naturally.
Fierce rivals Xavier and Magnetos is.
Yeah. Well, I would just let him know, well, that we're on our way to Bryn Shander. We'll be on the lookout for a black cabin.
Oh, it's not near Bryn Shander. It's outside of Lonely Wood. But the gnome who claims that they know what's going on stays at the House of the Morning Lord in Bryn Shander. Just so we're clear.
Oh. Okay. Where is the Lonely Wood?
Lonely Wood is a city in, let's see. When you were going to Targos, you go west past Bryn Shander, and then instead of going northwest to Bremen, you take the trail east, and that takes you to Tourmaline, and past Tourmaline is Lonely Wood. Those three cities all border Mare Duladon that share a coastline with Bremen. It's one of the only standing forests in 10 towns, outside of the one near Goodmead.
Okay. Would we happen to have a map of all these locations anywhere?
Yeah, absolutely. And he points it out to you, and you see that Caradinival, that road that leads to Bryn Shander, it continues through Bryn Shander, and points it out on the map for you. Unless you're asking above table to look at a player map.
A little from column A, a little from column B.
Okay. I'll see if I can get a player map for you here in a bit.
Sure. All right. Well, if everybody's done eating, We ready to head out?
Yeah, I'm all done.
Yes, I'm never quite done eating, but I'm okay for the moment.
Okay. You guys head out and start your long leg of the journey to Bryn Shander. The sun is just about to set at this point as you guys exit Caer Dineval. Who is leading the way in the darkness?
I guess I better.
Oh man, were we there all day?
So the sun rose as you guys were leaving Caer Koenig, and you only have about 4 hours of sunlight a day.
Oh,
And you guys were waiting around about an hour for lunch.
I see.
Yeah. So day and night cycle is heavily skewed towards night.
Well, in that case, do we really want to venture out to Bryn Shander in the dark? Or would we rather hold up here for the night and meet them tomorrow?
We can do either. I'm not particular with whichever.
Yes, I'm sure Pointy will keep everyone safe wherever they are.
Yes. I'm sure that everybody is safe.
All right. So, how would you guys like to spend your time here in Caer Dineval?
I would probably find something to read.
Okay.
Eclipse is gonna lounge in front of the fireplace.
Of course.
And Ziz is gonna go to his lab.
Yep. Understood. Carcass?
Uh, Carcass is going to follow Styx upstairs, but not into his lab. But he is going to talk to him before he goes inside.
Okay.
Styx, I have a question.
Yeah, what is it?
You were on a ship that crashed?
Yeah.
Carcass was on ship that crashed too. Did the Yagul pick you up too?
Did who do what now?
The Yagul, did they pick you up too?
No.
Oh.
I don't know. I don't know who that is.
Oh, they have the long fingers on their chin. They are not very nice to Carcass.
Oh. I'm sorry, my friend.
Yes, we were in their ship and it crashed.
What was your ship's name?
Oh, I don't know. They picked me up when I was on Kothos, and then it flew away, and then it crashed here in a different part of Kothos, and I do not recognize this place.
Your ship flew, like, it flew?
Yes, it flies through the air, and then it crashed into the mountain.
Wow. And was Leah Ponte on there with you?
Oh no, I met my good friend after I crashed.
So, how long ago was that?
Oh, I don't know. I'm not sure how time works here.
Oh, I see. I know how terrifying that is, and huh, you and me have more in common than I think anyone will ever know.
Zizix, make a quick intelligence check for me.
Okay. $18.
You're pretty sure you've never heard of the region Kolthus that Carcass is speaking of.
Okay. So that'll change my direction of conversation here.
Yep.
Carcass, where is Colthus?
Oh, Kotos is great. It's the big island, and there are many of the carcass there.
Many other carcasses?
Yes, people that look like me.
So you had a family?
Oh, I had a lot of friends. Yes.
And are you wanting to go back there?
Oh, aren't we in Kotos now?
No, my friend.
Oh, where is Carcass?
You're in the 10 towns.
Oh, I don't know what that is.
It's a small region of a very big region of land. We're not really even close to a big island.
Yeah, you're not familiar with any island named Kolthus, at least to the extent of your knowledge of the Sword Coast.
You must be from very far away. Which would explain why I haven't really come across another carcass before.
Oh yes, Carcass is me.
Yes. And I'm glad of that.
Oh, maybe we could find where Kotos is. Do you know where Palanthos is?
I do not.
Oh. Okay. It might be harder to find than I thought.
Let me do some research. And let's see if we can find your way back home.
Okay. But I like to be with Pointy.
Oh, of course. I mean, I will show you how to get back home. And whether you want to go back there, that's your choice.
Okay, but we have to stay away from the Yaku.
We'll do what we can, but if we come across them, just know that I am here with you, and so is Ollie.
Okay. And I'm just going to turn around and walk away from him.
Okay. Zizix, what would you like to do in your lab after this?
Well, with that bit of information, he is going to start looking. He'll probably head away from his lab and go to the library to see if he can find any books on geography, landscapes, different, maybe alternate dimensions or different planes, to see if he can locate any mention of Kolthos.
Sure. And you go into the library here, and you actually run into Lysander, who has come up here to look for something to read.
I'll see him coming in, and I'll turn to him and say, "Anything you're looking for?"
Well, what are you doing right now?
Oh, just browsing, really.
I'm looking for any kind of information on a place called Kolthos.
Kolthos.
Yeah, and let's just keep this between you and me.
Okay. What? Where would the? Do you know anything about this place? What are you looking for exactly, and why?
More just where it is. I've heard mention of it, and we may have a mutual party that may or may not have connections to it, and it could be very, very beneficial.
If I had an eyebrow, I would raise one at that. But
I could try and fashion one for you. You can just walk around like with a permanent rock face.
People's eyebrow.
yeah, just paint one on. I would say, what kind of benefits would that entail, and who might that be? Of course, you know your secret would be safe with me.
It's where Carcass is from, or at least where he believes he is from. And he got taken from his people. So I just want to help him find where his home is.
Well, then I would not stand in your way. That's very noble of you.
Also, you've come across a lot of people in your time.
Indeed.
Have you ever met or fought anything that had fingers on their chin?
Fingers on their.
Make a. We'll call it an intelligence check.
Nah.
Your
3?
mind goes to like cave-dwelling beasts that might have like antenna coming out from their mouth region, as best as you're trying to picture this, but nothing that seems to fit really comes to mind from your past.
I mean, I fought some cave-dwelling creatures that seem to have antenna-like proboscis coming out of their mouths, but not in the way that you're describing.
Do you remember what they were called?
No, with that roll, you wouldn't remember.
No, I'm afraid I do not.
Just above the table, I'm trying to remember what Caucus called him. Was it Ingwe?
Yagul?
Yagul? Does the name Yagul ring any bells?
It does not.
No, I'm afraid it does not.
So,
Yagu.
I have a different task for you. Maybe something a little bit more up your alley.
I'm listening.
See if you can find anything about this Yagul.
How would you spell that, by the way, Sam? Yagul?
I think it is Yagul. There might be a H thrown in there. Let me double check. Oh no, it's Yaggol.
Okay.
I want you to find out who they are, what they do, any kind of weaknesses. There is a part of me that if we continue trying to find this home of Carcass, these people may we may come across them, and we may be best served to know who they are.
I could agree with that statement. I'll see what I can find. Because I'm very curious too, as I don't recall ever hearing of anything like that.
Me either. But again, keep this between us. I've never seen Carcass scared of anything, but he didn't seem his usual lively self when he was talking about them. I think they may have hurt him in some way.
Did he, was he talking about this with you tonight?
Yes, he asked me about the ship because it reminded him of a situation that he was on.
I see.
But he seems to think that we're on his home island.
What island would that be?
Sorry, the name is escaping me again.
Colthus?
Colthus, yeah.
Is that what you were? Yeah, you mentioned that whenever you were looking. So, okay. He thinks that we're on the island of Colthus, where he is from.
Correct.
Well, we'll see if we can find anything about that too. Zizix, speaking of the ship, I apologize for earlier if bringing it up brought back some dark memories. And I want you to know that you are my friend, and I respect you, and no matter what happened, you did what you had to do to survive. And I'm not going to hold that against you.
It's amazing what the will of survival will do to somebody. That stuff doesn't ever leave you.
No. And regardless, we're gonna have to live with the decisions that come with that for the rest of our lives. Hence why I'm a walking metal man.
But good things rarely come from the past.
But wisdom always does.
Yeah, I don't want to go back there.
I understand. And I will not press the matter further. So, again, I apologize for earlier, and I hold out a hand for him to shake.
And I would just kind of clap his hand as if like I'm clapping two hands together kind of thing, just to make some sounds. I just say, it's okay, you don't know. I don't expect anyone to know.
Still.
It's okay.
Oh, good. Well, I will assist you on seeing what we can find out about this island of Kolthus and the Yagul, whatever these creatures are.
Yeah, in my travels, I've never seen nor heard of them, so I would be very surprised if anyone around here has heard of one.
Well, maybe we'll find that one weary traveler who does know. Let me ask you, did Carcass ever mention if Leoponte had ever... Does Leoponte know about this?
Well, he did say that Leoponte was not with him. I don't know if he told him, but I would believe he would have. I mean, Pointy is his best friend.
Well, I was just curious if Leoponte had ever, tried to help him find this place, find where he came from.
I think Leoponte doesn't exactly look to go back to the past. He seems to, not seems to, he told us that there was some things that he's running away from. So I don't know how much motivation Leoponte had to get Carcass back home.
That's what I'm thinking too.
But I could be wrong. I mean, I'm never wrong, but strange things keep happening. Ain't no doubt about it.
The days are only getting stranger.
Morgan Freeman voice. And here he is right.
Fuck.
Oh boy.
Alright, and we're gonna take a brief pause here to go to Eclipse. Are you chilling? Chilling in your little box?
Straight chillin'. She's having a great time.
Alright. Carcass, where did you go after talking with Zizix? Did you go back downstairs?
Yes, I would go back down and sit next to the kitty by the fire.
Okay. And Kitty is sitting in her box downstairs next to the fire. And Carcass comes up and sits next to you. Just sitting quietly, enjoying the fire together.
Yes, and I would like to, whatever chair I am in, or if I sit on the floor, I would like to just kind of lean back and start to fall asleep.
Okay. Good enough.
cute.
So then we return to the library. Is your search starting here?
Here's as good a place as any.
All right.
I mean, I know I've called it fire, so there's probably not a whole bunch of stuff in here, but
Well, you never know. So go ahead and make investigation checks. Individually, since Lysander seems to be searching for the Yagul, and then I think Zizix is taking his part of looking for Kolthas, right?
yeah.
Okay. So Lysander, you find a few books of kind of like monsters guides kind of thing, where it kind of depicts different creatures from other realms. Some of them have pictures. A lot of them are verbal descriptions. You don't really find any in this book that seem to depict exactly anything that would have fingers on their chin. But you spend about maybe an hour kind of just perusing through this book and carefully reading descriptions, but you're coming up empty. Zizix, with that roll, you're able to actually find a few atlases of outside realms from the Sword Coast, and you're not finding anything related to Kolthas or the other realm that he had mentioned. Which, Brian, what did you say, by the way?
Oh, the city?
The city, yeah.
Palanthas.
Palanthas. You're not finding any mention of those two places. But you're learning a great deal about a region named Chult.
And what am I learning about said region?
You're learning that Chult is basically like a untamed jungle full of different creatures and dinosaurs and the local populations that live within there, and you know that it's very privy to pirate occupation on the coastline, but the details get really fuzzy as you get towards the center of the jungle.
And whereabouts geographically is it from the Sword Coast?
South of the Sword Coast, far past the forests of Tethir, which is the very southernmost region of the Sword Coast.
This could perhaps look promising. So, what kind of creatures, like anything very unique or specific that I might be able to probe Carcass about to see if he is aware of what it is?
The big things that you think might stick out, creature-wise, would be lizard folk and dinosaurs being some of the most prevalent creatures in the area, not to mention the numerous seemingly endless iterations of plant life that seems to be sentient to an extent. Not sentient as in like communication wise, but living. Moving, eating, carnivorous plants, that type of thing.
Whoa.
Okay. I think I got all that down.
Okay.
Sounds like a pretty cool place.
Yeah, some say you just find annihilation there. Tombs of it.
I was gonna say, if you like getting chased and eaten by dinosaurs.
I mean, I've never tried.
I'd say probably be thankful on that.
So that research probably takes up the remainder of your evening if you're really dedicated towards it. If you would like to continue searching, you can start going into the wee hours of the night and make a new roll if you would like.
Yeah, I've got nothing better to do. Is that another investigation check?
Yes.
Sam, not making this up, I got another nat 20.
I see it. I see it right there. Lysander, you're not having much luck finding any other sort of mentions of Yagul or even, expanding into the reaches of what Zizek's looking for as monster manuals of that sort start to get sparse in the pile of books here in the library. Zizix, you find an autobiography of one of the world famous explorers who claims to have been all across Faerun. And you start scouring this manual. And you're looking through it, you're checking the indexes and continuing to look and look and look, and you're very thorough with this book. But you're not finding anything. Kalthas.
Well, that sucks with a nat 20.
That 20 does not mean you're going to succeed.
Yeah. It may be a very, very obscure region.
You know,
Still, yeah, that does suck.
with the way that Carcass calls things, I would not be surprised if Kolthos is not its real name.
That's fair. And the Yoggles, I don't know what else that could be either. We might be dealing with an unreliable narrator of sorts. But still, we tried. Maybe somewhere down the line we might find somebody who just happens to know something.
Well, I mean, he has to come from somewhere.
Yeah. Mayhaps the next time we run into another Minotaur, when and where that might be, we might just ask him.
All right. And with that, into the wee hours of the morning, do you guys conclude your search?
Yeah, I'd say so.
Yeah, Matt's done. He rolled a nat 20 and got nothing. He's done.
Look at it. I got other shit to do.
Alright, so Zizix makes his retreat into his lab. Lysander, would you like to return to the room?
Yeah, I'll go back to my room and finish journaling and call it a night.
So heading around to the room, you take a look over the railway, and you see down below, Carcass and Eclipse are both passed out by the fire. Um, Carcass kind of laid out like he's making a snow angel kind of position, and Eclipse sitting snugly in her box.
Then I will leave them to rest by the fire.
All right. And that is actually going to be where we will end for tonight.
Alrighty then.
All right. Good session, everybody. Thank you, everyone, for watching on YouTube. Be sure to tune in next week on Wednesdays, 7 p.m. Central, twitch.tv/SamsonPaul. Be sure to hit the subscribe button, like this video, and come back to see us next week. Anything else you guys want to say before we depart?
Stay safe.
Yeah, stay warm, stay safe.
Yeah,
Have
absolutely.
a great week.
All right, bye, everybody. Enjoy the video. Bye.
Bye.
Night.